Okay, there are two interracial. There's one interracial pairing when it comes to the hood or it comes to the urban areas that is in the media, is in everywhere, and no one really, or maybe people can tell about it, but no one really can tell about it. And it's the black guy Hispanic girl couple. It is everywhere in the media, in the representation in the media everywhere. Um, so you know, Latina girls get their shine. That's why, if you think about it, Latinas are very proud to say they're Latina. Like, I'm even on dating apps, I'm Latina, and I'm this and I'm that. I'm Latina, I'm proud. Can you handle a spicy Latina? Like, all these Latina girls are saying this on the apps. Even though they'll say, "Don't fetishize me, don't fetishize me." No, I'm this. Don't fetishize me as Latina. But a lot of them on the apps are saying, "I'm a spicy Latina. Can you handle me? Can you handle me? I'm a spicy Latina. I'm Latina. I'm proud." La 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 la. All right. And if you think about it, a lot of them are in the media. They are destroying Latinos in the media. They get their hands in the media easily. Now that's also because a white male lead role just has a monopoly on the male lead role, and these guys can have an Asian girl Asian girl on his side, or we're gonna have a black girl on his side, or have a Mexican girl. Usually it's an Asian girl or a Hispanic girl, whatever, on his side, as the white male takes over and is like the hero of the movie or whatever, the show. So that's kind of how they got their foot in. But even then, even in like hood media, or these hood or urban media, whatever you want to call it, in the radio talk shows, it's the same deal. Black guy, Hispanic girl. Black guy, Hispanic girl. Do we ever see Hispanic guy, black girl? I mean, it's much rare. It's just much rare for people to think as a Hispanic guy as a leader. It's like we're ingrained in our heads. At most representation we could possibly get is our girls be like a sidekick to like a white guy or a black guy. Like, I don't know. It's in our heads that no Hispanic guy can have a voice in media or acting or radio or anything. And yeah, Kobe Bryant, Mexican, Hispanic wife. That I can name two talk shows, hip hop, whatever talk shows, where it's like a black guy's Hispanic girl. And not always, there are some where Hispanic guy gets their shine, but for the most part, we're just dominated. In the white world, we're dominated because the white guy's the male lead role. In this urban world, because there's two worlds obviously in the U.S., we get dominated by the black guys, the voice, and then the sidekicks like Latina. So there's no room for a Hispanic guy. And then this is also very similar to the Asian guy struggle, where he also doesn't have a voice in any of the media, any sort. It's because the Asian girl gets a sidekick, and sometimes even the Asian girl's a sidekick, and then the white male lead role, because Asian people aren't really in the urban world, but yeah, it's just like there's like no brown voices, and there's none of us that are in like in representation in media, unless he's a cholo, unless he's some sort of a thug cholo tatted. I mean, if you think about it, is that a positive or is that a negative? I mean, overall, I think it's a negative, but in a way, it's something. But that's why guys cholo max, because that's the only kind of masculine lead role Hispanic men can look up to. A cholo thug. That's the only masculine lead role there is out there. Outside of that, we're cucked. We're cucked like everywhere in the white world and in the urban world. We're cucked. So if you think about it, it makes sense why a lot of them cholo max, because that's the only in the cholo world. Yeah, we are kind of the Don Kings, because that's kind of a unique identity towards that we had, that a lot of us, that some of us have had. So it makes sense why some that ingrains in people's heads. But it's we got to put a timer on it. We got to put a clock on that one. We got to like get ourselves in the radio, be the leader of the radio. In the movies and shows and yeah, because like I don't know, I feel like I'm the only one that can see this cucking of us, like just brutal. And I'm sure Asian guys can see it too. Thing is, Asian guys, at least they can see some representation outside of the country for some people that watch Korean media. You know, the whole K-pop Korea thing, which I think we're all rooting for. I mean, we've seen them suffer so bad. I'm glad they can look up to something somewhat. You know, even though it doesn't benefit the Southeast Asians that a lot, but I think it does benefit them a little bit at least. You know, but even for us, when we look outside to Latin America, a lot of Latin American novellas are JBW as well. So we don't have almost anywhere to look up to. But I will say we do have a history of some representation in a good way, more than other races. I'm just saying it's been very little. It's like I said, it's just pretty much been Mario Lopez. I'm talking about brown guys, brown looking Hispanic. So Mario Lopez, Benjamin Bratt, Jay Hernandez. I know he came out with the show recently. A couple others here and there, but it's just very, very small. Let's not forget George Lopez, but which was more of a jester thing. But I still think it was something, because there's a lot of hints of Hispanic culture, that Hispanic American culture in that show. So, but right now, I'm just saying, right now we're at a low point. Because I think the last parts of Hispanic American culture, which was Mexican American culture, died around the late 2000s. Now, why is that? Probably a lot of new migrants that aren't Mexican. So we all know about the 90s batch or 80s batch of Mexican migrants, and I was part of that batch. So it was probably the last batch that came through, just in waves. But and I'm not even, and I'm not even South American. I'm not Mexican, South American, but all these new migrants are not Mexican. They're Mexican. They're Central American, and so there's that. Another thing is that culture of minorities has kind of died down. Just small, like, how do I say this? Subcultures have kind of died down, especially with the internet. Every single young person in this world is kind of living almost the same kind of culture. It's a very, almost like a clone, alien, like, I don't know, just like clone culture, like, of this, like, Generation Z. And so it's just, because seeing, like, even my cousins in South America, like, they're around a young age. And you're thinking, even I'm thinking, like, geomaxing, but trust me, they are watching the same exact shows, listening to the same exact music as American teens are. Almost the same exact everything. Maybe they're a little more covered up, but yeah, same media, all that. So I think a lot of Hispanics have kind of lost their identity being here, the new ones especially. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's no, like, male masculine roles or images for brown Hispanic men to look up to that aren't Thug maxed. And even in the urban world, we're cucked, unless we're in a very niche, like cholo, choloism. So yeah, I mean, we really have to get ourselves out there. I'm not about, like, competition. We want to take over, but at least something, It's like, am I the only person that speaks regularly brown and is about success? The thing is, like, thinking about success in the brown world or urban world is deemed as all these weird things that are just so cucked. I mean, I know some brown guys that were supposedly, like, hitting it with girls or like, successful, but they did the most simpiest things, like Thug Max Hispanics literally choosing their college to go to this other college because their girlfriend or their girl is there. I mean, just like ultra simpy things. But Hispanic brown man chasing success for himself, and not in a flashy way, but just in a good spirited, like, successful way, you know, and not tatted up, just normal. Like, there's no one. I mean, you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I just wanted to point out, like, that we're getting cucked media wise, in the white world and in the urban world. Yeah, and that, yeah, we have to kind of just, like, realize this so we can start doing things, and it doesn't have to be completely restricted to trollo maxing. The thing about trollo maxing, I mean, thug maxing, overall, it's not worth it. You know, because I have two cousins that did that, thug max. One of them is every now and then gets deported because of all his firearm charges. Constantly pays to come back and then be with his family in another state. Record's just crap. But he has his company. It's true what they say. The bullies stay winning, because, you know, he was a bit of, like, a rough dude, and yeah, he kind of even bullied me as a young cousin, and yeah, he has his own business. I mean, he makes it work. And he's like the light skinned one. The dark skinned brother, which was bullied by the light skinned cholo maxing guy, like, got all that bad ends of the deal. I mean, he got a girl pregnant, you know, got a girl pregnant in high school. Girl left him. And then he just, you know, stayed with the kid, just single dad, got fat. It's like, it's true. Like, the blancamiento is real, even in this Mexican American world. The light skins win. Even in the cholo world, the light skins win. Yeah, he's just single dad, and just, I'm not trying to say his life's a failure, but I mean, you know, the other guy, even though all the bad he's done, he still has a family. He's still got a business. He's still making it work. You know, the victors win, and yeah. The bullies win. That's just how it is. But yeah, overall though, no, it's not worth it. I mean, his record's crap. I mean, he can't really be a W-2 worker, yeah, his record's crap. And then like I said, he got deported like twice, and he has to pay to come back every now and then. Another cousin I know that trollo maxed, he died, got shot in the head. Oh no, that was a husband of a cousin girl that was in that culture. The husband got shot in the head. Yeah, getting involved in that stuff. Another cousin I had that trollo max ended up divorcing from his trollo wife after he matured and didn't want to be in that kind of lifestyle. Single dad, 3 kids, and he had a decent girl before, but he ended up a decent, like, Asian girl before, but he ended up dropping her. I mean, he ended up getting another girl, and more, like, yeah, ended up going the trollo route, and then getting this trollo girl, and then just, yeah, it kind of just messed up his life. The girl's like, you have to realize the thing about trollo maxing, it's all revolves around horrible culture, horrible values, and the girls are just, a lot of them are just bad people. So yeah, divorced, and a lot of divorcees. It's not worth it in the end. I mean, even if you get a prime of banging these girls that love thug max dudes, like, for maybe 5 years max, it's not worth it. A lot of these guys become single dads. A lot of these guys are just, like, they have no value at the age of. Because the reason they get so hard they bang so much at young 20s, is because they almost subconsciously know that their value is going to be bad in their 40s and late 30s, and so yeah. But yeah, man, we just have to pick up and do something new. I mean, it's just getting old, man. It's like, I'm chasing and do something new that's not fully about yourselves, because I don't like, you know, just these channels that talk about, like, stocks and like, get rich. It's so overplayed. It's just like, get successful, but, you know, do something new, like create a new facility, or buy land and create a new kind of interesting company for the betterment of humanity. You know, make something inventive or do something new. I mean, be the first actor. If you're like if you're like a good looking dude, like be the first actor and be the first like brown Hispanic, like actually good looking guy, and be on the TV show, be or stand up comedy, something new. And so, just my rant for today. We gotta pick ourselves up. Got to pick ourselves up in a very educated and funny, but you still bring your Hispanic vibe into it. I mean, I do I do jokes, and you still bring your who you are into it. So yeah, it's my little rant about